spree. Revenge. Five minutes remaining. Spree. Game over.
Let's take it all the way back. Let's go all the way back to 2001. The Stanley Kubrick 2001. Let's go all the way back and see what kind of stuff he was getting into in 1968, I think.
This is the thing that has always blown me away most about this movie, is the fact that this movie came out a year before they landed on the moon.
This is mind-blowing.
Dude, yeah, look at that floating pen.
This is not an Element 3D Andrew Kramer VFX element here. This is actually a pen floating in 3D space. And then she grabs it to
That was so
prove to
smooth
you
there.
that it's there. Like, there's no visual effects going on here. You guys actually recreated this effect in one of your Half-Life videos, right?
The gravity gun, or as we've renamed it recently, Half-Life Alyx the movie.
It's the same way that Stanley Kubrick did it, right?
The reason we had to use the same technique is because it's a glass bottle, so we can't really put it on a green screen. and it has liquid in it. Back then, especially like fluid simulations weren't that easy on a home computer.
Yeah.
So we want to have realistic looking fluid in a glass object, so we can't do it with CG.
So the way we did it is the same way Kubrick did it back in 1968.
First strike. Gained the lead. Revenge. Revenge. Killing spree. 5 minutes remaining. Game over.
Basically, you just take a giant sheet of glass or plexiglass, something that is perfectly see-through and clear, and you glue it very lightly to that glass. So you can't see any of the glass, you can't even see the glue. You have two people holding the glass, floating in front of the lens.
But you gotta make sure that glass is clean, like super clean. This is a pretty big sheet of glass here, and it's only getting larger as we zoom out.
Oh my God, you're right. I didn't even think about that. That pen is not close to the lens.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's a huge piece of glass. It has to be.
Yeah, very well done. Just a tiny little trick, visual trick that they did here on 2001, and we're just getting started. You guys saw Inception, right? You remember the rotating hallway? They basically built a rotating set for this space station, and it's such an incredible effect.
How is are you saying the camera is static right here in that shot where he's following them?
Yeah, it's mounted to the center point.
Now there, the camera is straight up mounted to the frame of the whole building.
Yes.
So another thing that this movie doesn't account for at all with this whole like rotating thing is that, yes, technically you would be stuck to the ground with gravity, but it would have to be spinning so fast at that small radius that you would feel sick in there. Because the weight difference between your toes and your head would be different, you'd be disoriented. I think it's the Coriolis effect.
Why are you looking at us?
I do know this though. I went on that one space ride at Epcot, and that's basically this, but just maxed out.
Now have you tried standing off of the wall while it's doing that? So guys, honestly, if you've ever, ran around a rotunda like this in outer space, let me know what you thought you felt from your inner ear and how it affected you on your last space travel, yeah.
Let's talk about the final moment of this movie, the traveling through time, the warp speed effect.
All the crazy light effects going on there is done in camera, right?
Yes, all in camera, no visual effects. No Andrew Kramer. This is all in camera, done practically. Basically, what you're doing is it's an old photography trick. Basically, they set up a giant black cloth and they cut a slit through the center. They had the camera on a dolly and they would dolly up to that slit. Behind that slit, behind that piece of cloth with the cut through it, there was just a bunch of colorful imagery that they would slide from left to right. And when the camera stays open, the shutter speed stays open for a long amount of time, as the camera's dollying in, you're getting this weird warpy effect.
It took a 5-minute exposure per frame twice because he had to do the left side and then the right side
frame?
on that one frame. So it's 10 minutes to get one frame, and there's 24 frames per second. So it's like 120 minutes. It was like 2 hours per second of this sequence.
Jeez.
2 hours of time to create 1 second of footage
It's a
here.
month-long process to make
Oh,
this.
at least. It was probably several months.
At the end, there's a moment where basically you start to see these nebulas that start to expand outwards, and it looks like, galaxies are being formed. Kubrick was experimenting with the idea of dropping ink into his coffee. As a test, he shot super macro footage of the ink dripping into his coffee, and you get something very, very similar to this. And it's completely random when you drop it in. You do 1 drop, 2 drop, and it just expands and opens up, and you film it in slow-mo.
Dude, that's exactly what Gavin from the Slow Mo Guys has done several times.
Really?
He's dropping ink droplets into water and just seeing it billow out in slow-mo.
Douglas Trumbull said he worked on this movie for 2.5 years. There's a whole bunch more to talk about in 2001, so we'll definitely touch on it in the future. So subscribe if you guys aren't already. Hit the bell notification. Don't miss a single thing because we got a lot of stuff for you guys. Whoa! Wow, that's awesome. Oh yeah, where's his head? Where would his real head be?
Yeah, right? right?
What, dude?
Because of the way his head lands in real life, it was like a bit of a forced perspective thing. He's actually landing way to the left of the urinal there, but in the final scene, they actually stretched it up to line it up better. So that whole side wall there, it's not as it was originally filmed. They make it look like he's colliding with the toilet, when in reality, in the actual physical thing, he's ahead of it.
It's the same trick behind Lieutenant Dan's legs when he's spinning around and they have that table in the way. So the subtle demonstrations of like, oh, his legs are short. Here they are passing through something that if it was just an actor with real legs, they would hit the thing. So with the wall, when his neck lands up right against the wall, it's the same subtle like, no, we're gonna really sell that somehow we've removed that object from space.
So look at the blood coming out of that neck there.
Look at that neck.
Look at that neck! Dude, look at that neck snap! Ah! So that shot there where it's just like the head and the blood's pouring out of the neck, I at first assumed it was just like a regular fluid simulation, but they actually filmed that practically.
So cool.
So that's actual real liquid coming out of this like stump that they made, and they just tracked it onto his real neck. They didn't even have to put like a green screen head on him.
That's ingenious because the lighting matches, the fluid dynamics are perfect. Like to do a fluid simulation like that, it'd be kind of a pain in the butt.
Oh, that's so Jackie Chan, dude. I'm pretty sure this was Brad Allen. Brad Allen was Jackie Chan's right-hand man on the Jackie Chan stunt team, and then went on to do Kingsman and what's this movie called? Dude, just I bet you people lost it in theaters when that happened.
It's all green screen.
Really?
They actually filmed it practically against a green screen and comped them into the shot. So it's two different elements merged together to make them look like one person. It's just good tracking, clever compositing, that mirror reflection. Someone had to film the back side of him, kind of do something like that, and then comp that onto the mirror. That's like a subtle work that it would look really weird if it wasn't there.
That was awesome. I mean, Edgar Wright is just a genius when it comes to combining practical and visual, and in storytelling in every way. I think he's a genius.
I think he's a master director. Like, he knows how to tell a story using really efficient storytelling methods.
We need goofs. We need more goofs.
All right, okay. So we're gonna be looking at G.I. Joe, Rise of the Cobra, specifically this ending sequence. There's this whole like military base under the Arctic ice, the bad guy lair. And I'm not really criticizing the effects as much as the decision processes that went into making this sequence, because just watch it, just watch it.
The ice is falling down.
They broke it, and some of the ice lost its buoyancy properties and fell down to sink to the bottom of the ocean, where we store all of our ice, on the bottom of the ocean.
I'm sure all of the visual effects artists working on this were like, but that's not how ice works.
It's like, too late, we shot it, make it happen.
Also, notice how all of the explosions are acting as if they're in the atmosphere rather than
the
underwater.
smoke.
Yeah.
There's smoke! I didn't even, oh my God. Smoke doesn't move that way.
Yeah, like the way it's pluming outwards is, it would have to
Bubbles.
require, yeah.
It turns into bubbles. It's underwater.
So yeah, this is not bad visual effects, this is bad writing. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is because all of you visual effects artists who worked on this movie, I apologize that you had to go through that. Thank you for your service.
Guys, we have been working for months on tactical 3 loads. It's the 3rd one!
Instead of us reacting to things, why don't you go over there and you react to it and leave a comment telling us what you think.
It's freaking sweet. We spent all this time doing VFX on it. Go check it out. It's live right now on the Corridor YouTube channel.
If you would like to see these episodes early, consider subscribing to our website, corridordigital.com. We got all these episodes and cool exclusive shows, plus the vlogs with no ads, higher quality than YouTube, and a whole bunch of other great stuff. Go check it out if you haven't, corridordigital.com. Yeah.
PP.
qué pedo. Me encuentras más fácil en hardcore que en doubles. Está muerto. Para esto regresé a mi servicio social para no poder jugar nada porque no encuentra nada. Changos. What? ¡Quítate! Parece que alguien traicionó a alguien. Acabo de aparecer. No. No se muere. Mi cara de enojado. Pues nunca no me... Así que me haya enojado como tal, pues no, pero... Sabes, para dar el show de stream. No, Sergio. Leve, leve. Es que si es mi cara, pues ahí sí ya no puedo hacer nada. El Among Us. Pues yo juego Halo, Deer, Days Combat, PUBG. No solamente juego Halo. Pero pues ahorita quise ver a ver quién me encuentra en Halo en una tardecita de sábado y parece que ya no, ya ni eso. Ok, adiós, mundo cruel. Qué pedo. Y luego me contaron como el suicidio en vez de muerte. Qué pedo. Yo- La avienta muy despacio. ¿Qué onda? Es que andas spameando, digo, pues así no se puede. Ya ves que en iBots ya te etiquetó como spammer. ¿Qué? Sí, el único aquí comentó seguido y nada, pésimo servicio. Pues ahora sí que si pudiera yo entrenar el bot. Pues de hecho sí le puedo poner que no, que sí permita cualquier cosa, hasta las ofensas que se permiten. Nada más que no he configurado eso. Ups. Afortunadamente no se acabó. Diablos, la propia bomba que yo puse. El sniper. Ah, ya me lo quitó. No, Dallas. Ya. Kill. No se murió, ese era mi kill, victoria. Pensé que era tu amigo. No, es el Nightbot, el moderador robot. Supongo que volveré al Halo en un rato. A ver si hay más gente. Voy a dar un rato al PUBG. Al menos el PUBG se encuentra. Ya vas a jugar. Ahorita le caigo en la noche. Casi una más gente. Jugar Dragon Ball. Vale. Voy a tener esta madre.